Hey everybody, thank you so much for coming back and seeing me and Desi today. I hope you had a good week. I had such a wonderful week and I want to share it with you. I bought a piano off of Facebook Marketplace. I told you I was going to do this a few weeks ago, and it took a while for me to find the perfect piano, something that really spoke to me. It has to be right when you buy a piano or any piece of furniture. So I want to take you along and I want to show you my new piano. And then I want to show you what happened to my house when I brought that piano in. Because when you bring in a 500-pound piece of furniture, your house is going to change. And for me, it's not just one room. It affects every room because, you know, it's like dominoes. You move one thing and that one thing just carries through every room of the house. That's just the way it is. So many people in my life have told me that their secret desire is to play piano. And I say go for it. Now is the time. You can go on Facebook Marketplace and there's so many beautiful pianos on there for free, or almost all under $500. And I paid right around $600 for my beautiful Zimmerman piano that I have to show you. But I have to say that when you bring a huge piece of furniture home, it's a little overwhelming. How are you going to decorate? Because it's going to change so much of the vibe of where you live. And as we get older, it gets harder and harder to deal with change. So you have to sort of take a moment and don't panic. You're going to adjust. You're going to get used to it. When we look at a room and we say to ourselves, that room is beautifully decorated. It's so gorgeous. You know what's happening in our minds? We are interpreting this room as being symmetrical. So in other words, if it has 6 things over here, it has 6 things over here, and it's symmetric. And that makes our mind just calm down. It makes us feel grounded and peaceful. So when you walk into a home and it's decorated in a symmetrical way, it just makes you feel good. And the best decorators in the world are the ones that can take a room and make it symmetrical, but in a different way. And the only way I can explain that is, let's say there's 6 things over here, but over here they have 12 things. But those 12 things equal these 6 things when it comes to how much space they take up. If that's a very simplistic way of talking about spatial distance. And so I want to show you some of the things that I did to sort of even out my dining room area where I brought the piano in. Now with a piano, that is a little bit different because it's never totally gonna be okay. It's never gonna totally be symmetric. But that's a musician's lot, you know. But there are so many tricks that you can do. There are so many tricks that I used to make my dining room flow, to look symmetric, to look even. So it doesn't stop you in your tracks and make you feel nervous when you look at it. My beautiful piano, oh, she is a beauty. She is getting tuned in 10 days by one of the best piano tuners in Michigan. So I am so excited for that day to come. Now, I haven't had a lot of time for rearranging and cleaning, so please forgive me, but I want to give you an idea of what I was talking about with the room being symmetrical. I've got my dining room table turned a different way. I've got my heaviest piece of furniture there As you can see, I moved my Bombay chest over there on the western wall to even out the heaviness of the north wall. And then this piece of furniture is a buffet, but that's going to have to change. That's going to have to be something a little bit lighter and a little bit more modern, because I want to offset the vibe of the piano. The piano is a very, oh, it's so beautiful. Yes, it is beautiful. It's the color of Desi's fur, but it has a look that it certainly wasn't made yesterday, and I do not want that antique feel in my home. I know my home was built in 1939, but that's not how I want it to feel completely. So my son and my grandson did come over and help me move a little bit of furniture here, and I did move my dining room table the other way. I kept that little side wooden table. It's very practical for me right now. It probably should be moved out, but for right now I think I'm going to keep it. I love that lamp. It's very modern, and yet it has such a whimsical vibe. It's a Laura Ashley lamp that I picked up at Marshall's, but I thought it was very beautiful. No wires, you just charge it once a week, and I really love it. And there's my pirate ship. All poets are pirates. I want a nice clean look, and I want a classy look in my home, but I don't want a lot of dark furniture. I don't want this to be my grandmother's cottage. I want this to be respectful of the years that have come before, but I also would like it to be in the now and happy and hopeful and looking forward. I don't know if you remember, but right there I had my Eastlake cabinet, and I moved it to the kitchen, and I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. I really love that Eastlake furniture, and I think it's sweet in the kitchen. I think I may just put my plans on hold for redoing the kitchen a little bit. Do you remember the little fireplace that used to be in here? Well, that was just so cozy in the morning, but I did move that, and this will be nice. On fall mornings, I'll be able to come out here in the little sunroom and be able to just turn on my little fireplace and warm up. But yeah, so every room was affected by me buying that piano. I felt so bad this week. Brian Wilson died of the Beach Boys, and I was talking about good vibrations the whole week because, you know, I was moving in my new piano, and I didn't want an old feel to my home, and I was singing good vibrations. And anyway, I don't know why I brought that up. What kind of mood do you want people to be in when they walk into your home? What kind of mood or what kind of vibe do you want people to feel when they're sitting around enjoying your home? And what I found so interesting is when I brought in the antique piano, it did change that flow of my little cottage here. Like, I have so many windows, and it's so light, and my furniture is basically light, and it just changed the whole vibe. And I knew right away this could not stand. I do not want people to come over to my house and feel like they're visiting their grandmother from 1940. Okay, I wasn't born in 1940. I just wanted to get that out there. But you know what I'm saying? That, like, somebody a few weeks ago gave me some great advice. They said, you know, your house it has such a lovely cottage feel. You need to get rid of your modern furniture and bring in antiques or farmhouse. And I thought, yeah, that sounds logical, but no, I don't want that. I want a home that's eclectic. I want furniture that is modern and yet I want furniture that is old too. I want a blend. And I realized when I brought in the new piano that, oh, I have to work very hard in replacing a couple pieces of furniture, that I want to be modern, that I want to be light, that will lift the spirit. Those Zimmermann's old German pianos, they have a big bass sound.
Oh, really?
I didn't think it was going to be that pretty.
Do you used to play, or?
I'm a musician.
But did you play piano as well?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I would perform with the piano. When they brought the piano in, I started to cry. And I said, you can hear my voice breaking, I didn't think the piano would be so pretty. But I wasn't really crying that the piano was so pretty. I was crying because I couldn't figure out at that moment in time, why did it take me so long to get an acoustic piano? Yeah, I have my electric piano upstairs, but it's not the same. It's not even remotely close to an acoustic piano, something that I grew up with, something that I love so much. And I was just crying, like, why did it take me so long to get a piano? If I just researched it, I would have found out that, you know, they're practically giving pianos away for nothing. And then when I sat down later and I played my piano, and all those feelings came back, and all those songs that I used to play came back, and new songs that I was teaching myself, I just realized that I had buried all those feelings of enjoyment, of happiness. I just buried them. And I not only buried the feelings, I buried the memories of it. I haven't had an acoustic piano in 14 years. And all the joy that I had, it's as if the memories didn't even exist. And so I was thinking about us, and I was thinking about, do we do that with other things? Do we all do that in some way, that we don't know exactly what's going to make us happy because we buried it? We don't remember it. When we had to let it go, it was so much pain that we never dared look back again. Is that it? I don't know, but it's profound to me. And it makes me want to look at other areas of my life. The first night I had my piano, I said to myself, okay, you can play a little bit, but then you can't be overwhelmed with the emotion of it, because then that will affect other areas of your life. You have to be careful. You have to be careful with the intensity of your love and of your pleasure. And it started to come together. Have you ever felt that way? That you can handle all the bad stuff, you know, come on, bring it on, I can handle it. For me, with age, it gets harder to let the joy and the love in. And I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm going to work on it. And it was shocking to me this week to realize that maybe in all the thoughts I had about living a happy life, I had no idea that I had denied myself so much for that feeling of just playing it safe. I'll just play it safe. And if I do that, I'll be okay. Maybe all this time that I've spent in my new home here, a few years now, maybe finally I have that inner strength where I can say, yeah, I can inch a toe out and let life in again. I can allow memories to come in again of all the good, of all the wonderful songs, of all the wonderful people, no matter what. Yes, loving it can be very painful when we're on the losing end. But it's the greatest joy. and how we express that. If we're not expressing our passion and our desire, if we're not even allowing ourselves to remember it, well, that's got to change.
All dreamers and poets are pirates, navigating by the stars, raiding the private places, and searching for the wisdom hidden there.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for hanging out with us today. I just love seeing you. And if you get a chance down below, could you share something about how you have pursued happiness in your life and whether you've been a little intimidated by it? Please have yourself a happy, safe, brand new week. And when you're done with your week, come back and see me and Desi, all right? All right, it's a deal. We'll be here.
Oh my goodness, look at these guys. Really? They look so miserable for just getting married. That'll come much later, guys. You know, pans always remind me of when I was married. I used to really love cooking dinner for my husband. He'd always look so happy and he'd dig in and he'd always look at me and say, "I love you." Of course, pure manipulation to keep me cooking. But I really did love it. Every morning we set sail again, never knowing what adventure we will find. But we set sail. We're pirates. All dreamers and poets are pirates.
Thanks for the memories, the thrift stores in June. I sang out of tune, the birds are humming, the piano is coming. We thank you so much.